Hello everybody and welcome to Red Scott Gaming's New Year thing at the end of the year. And with us today we have special guest, Transgamer. Introduce yourself.
Good morning everybody, I identify as Transgamer, and welcome to Themecember. Today we're gonna... oh wait.
No. And I suppose that's a cue to like link and stuff. To every one of your Themecember videos, which will all be uploaded by now. And of course, also with us is usual, Sam.
Hello.
Who just who just seemed to fall over there. I just heard a sudden. So it's the end of 2014. We're looking forward to 2015. It's been a pretty meh year for gaming, but no real different from any other.
But never mind, Barry.
What are we thinking about it then? We got the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One beginning to sort of get a few titles being released on it. We have, of course, still the Wii, which I would get neutered if I didn't mention. With the exception of Transgamer, who has a Wii U. None of us here actually have one of the now current generation consoles yet, so there's not much we can say about them.
Are we now calling them current gen?
I guess we are. I kind of had to like put the extra effort in there to come out with the word current generation because I still don't view them as that.
At what point last gen did we sort of stop calling the PS3 next gen and just start thinking, oh yeah, that's a... I imagine it was about a year in, and it's been over a year since all three of them. It's been about 2 years since the generation started, back in 2012.
You know, I guess once the majority of people have the next current PS4s and Xbox Ones and all the rest of it, then they will be current gen, won't they? Or I don't know.
I suppose it's when like games stop coming out entirely for the properly regularly for the PS3 and Xbox 360.
We're starting to get to the point.
Wii games have stopped now.
Yeah, we're starting to get to the point where games are not being released now across platform. You know, there's still a couple more trickling out, but
like Watch Dogs and what's the other one? Destiny.
Yeah, but they've been
FIFA,
out for a while now.
Everything.
It's any game which sort of started development before or very early on at the release of the current / next generation. You know, if they began development on the older, I'm getting really awkward with saying older, current, and new, and all the rest of it.
Well, this is the 8th generation that we're in now. PS4,
okay,
Xbox
so any
One,
game
Wii
which
U.
began development in the 7th generation, or very early stages of the 8th, kind of just fuck it. We'll either stick to the 7th or 7th and 8th. You know, they wouldn't abandon and just jump over straight to the 8th. But yeah, we're starting to get to the point now.
And then there
where
were some
it's
games
really,
that were released on. Some games that were released on 7th and have now had remakes on the...
Oh, we'll get to that later, yeah. We will get to that later.
I think 3/4 of the video is going to be about that.
But yeah, we are starting to really get to the end now, aren't we? I don't think there's many more games. Certainly none that I'm looking forward to. Certainly not many that I'm thinking of here that are 7th and 8th generation, so... Yeah, I guess this is pretty much 2015 will be the farewell to the 7th, innit? You served us well.
7th generation is properly gonna be a goodbye now.
But yeah, my PS3 lasted me the whole time.
I didn't get a PS. I mean, I've always had access to a PS3 because my brother had one for the longest time. But I only got one like a few years ago, and I only got a Wii a few years, like a year or two before that. And then obviously I got a Wii U for my birthday this year in May. Whereas a PS4 I'll probably get next Christmas when, we got some games coming out for it that I want.
For the 7th gen, to quote Fallout 2, you have died.
Okay. Insightful. Yes, to open next year, one of the very first things I'm going to do very early in January is I'm going to Christmas present to myself with a PS4. So yeah, farewell, 7th generation. You'll be missed. Although I'm still going to have my PS3, and even if it does eventually explode, I've got too many fucking games for it to abandon it completely.
And obviously, I don't think the PS4 is backwards compatible. Weren't they gonna do something about that? They were gonna introduce it at some point. I heard they were, but...
So, some of the big releases in 2014, I actually, come to think of it, I'm gonna keep saying way too many that were in 2013 as well, because this year's gone way too fast. Like, I'm still thinking like Grand Theft.
Every other year.
I keep thinking like Grand Theft Auto 5 was released last year, but no, that was 2013.
Well, next gen Grand Theft Auto 5 is being released.
It's still being released.
Current console, so you could consider it.
Yeah, it's going to be released for PC. No, still no word on that Wii U version. That's never happening.
Of course not.
I'm just gonna have to spend a bunch of money and upgrade my PC. Wonderful.
So as for some of the biggest releases of 2014, what do we get? We get Call of Duty Advanced War Modern Future.
This is the bit where we all slit our throats and bleed all over the monitors.
It's a bit dark, but yeah. Basically, another Call of Duty, another excuse to
we've added jetpacks.
Look, we're not rich enough.
Tentacle appendage arms.
Next year, it's going to be alien warfare.
You mean other kinds of brown people? Those kind of aliens, or?
Oh no, green people this time.
Oh right.
Yeah,
we're not big Call of Duty fans here.
I like
Call of Duty, Shadows of Chernobyl.
I was waiting for that cue.
What?
With Lily to say.
I'm okay. I've got Call of Duty, but like, fuck me, it's just so shoved down your throat. I've seen adverts for it, and it's like, fuck off. Yes, I'm gonna play Call of Duty, but like, it's such a fucking. Oh, you're not as fucking important as you think you are. You're not fucking innovating in this industry.
The Advanced Warfare adverts are probably better than the game itself.
I actually quite liked the advert. It was the first Call of Duty advert I can remember seeing. I actually saw it. Knew that the game was going to be, mediocre, and I was never going to play it. But I thought, that's a pretty damn cool trailer.
I still think the last good Call of Duty was, I'd probably say Black Ops. Like, not in terms of story. Last good Call of Duty in terms of story was probably World at War, but. I mean, they've all had like okay gameplay, because it's the same gameplay as before. It's mindless, it's monotonous, it's a time killer. That's what I play Call of Duty for.
Which doesn't really lend itself to be like the most popular game in the eyes of many people ever.
Call of Duty was sort
of just okay.
If Call of Duty was nowhere near as popular, had half its popularity, no one would really give a shit. It'd be like, it's just Call of Duty. People say, it's just a charming little shooter.
That's the thing. I hate it, but I don't hate it necessarily because the game themselves are particularly offensive to me in any way. It's just they're so over-bloatedly popular that it makes me kind of sick. It's like fucking FIFA games. Every year it's the same shit.
Kill yourself. If you don't call yourself a gamer, or anyone who is listening to this, do not call yourself a gamer if you just play FIFA and Call of Duty. No, you're not.
I mean, going back to the next / current gen consoles, people who got PS4s and have had them for ages, or Xbox Ones and have had them for a while now, and yet the only games they have are Call of Duty, Ghosts, or Advanced Warfighter and FIFA. I mean, like I said, I moved to a new place recently, met new people, talked with them. Gaming comes up. It's like, I have a PS4. Do you? What games? What do you play? I play like this and that, Fallouts and Mass Effects and all this other stuff. And they're like, FIFA and Call of Duty, and then the conversation dies, right there.
Yeah, because if they were to list some games in conversation.
If they listed some games and FIFA and Call of Duty were among them,
yes, that is acceptable.
Fair enough.
I mean, you think for a second, wow, somebody
in my
likes games.
Huge library of games. But
I have a single Call of Duty game in my 60 other PS3 games, so it's hardly a majority shareholder. And other things that have happened in 2014, including the controversy Gamergate, which we're not going to talk about. Moving on. Unless anybody else wants to mention anything about it.
Well, no, let's not. Like,
all right.
I'm dreading even doing a video on it, to be quite honest.
Then don't.
Because it's, I want to, because I've got something to say, but I don't want to deal with the shit.
Oh, Is it something you want to say shortly here?
It's bollocks. There we are.
Alright. So, not that we necessarily played all, or many, or even most of the games that were released in 2014. Does anybody or everybody have a favourite, or any that particularly they enjoyed from this year? Transgamer.
Oh yeah, for me it's probably got to be either Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. I probably would say Smash Brothers purely because it's a lot. It's not necessarily easier to play, but it's a lot more accessible to play. Like you can just sort of sit down and play it for 5 minutes at a time, then you can just sort of pick up the gamepad, play it for 5 minutes, then put it back down again. Whereas Mario Kart, you do have to kind of set aside 20 minutes to actually do a Grand Prix or something. But yeah, both absolutely marvelous games released in 2014. Definitely up there for Game of the Year, I'd say. I mean, they both won awards in the Game Awards recently, so you know that says something.
So definitely, you're obviously the Wii perspective of us here. It's kind of part of the reason why I brought you on. I don't suppose you've even played anything, have you, Sam? That was released specifically this year.
No, I not really played.
But feel free to talk about anything anyway.
I'm still in the mindset that things like GTA 5, like you said, have been released this year compared to released.
What was your favourite game of
year?
2013 and 14 then? And fuck it, 2012 as well.
Consolidate 3 years into one.
No, I think if I was going to do like favourite game of last year, which we've all the added DLC bollocks, was pretty much this year as well. It's probably I actually really enjoyed Injustice. I think that's a really good game.
Oh yeah, it is pretty. I mean, I've got it as well. It is pretty fun.
Was the DLC released in just the last year?
Yeah, more of it.
I keep seeing it cropping up in different forms.
A lot of the DLC was re-released only released this year.
Well, like I said, I've not played many games, to be honest, at all. I thought I had played more games that were released this year, but looking back, there's only a handful. Favourite game, definitely Alien Isolation. I mean, I've talked about that with you guys before, and I've done a little bit of gameplay on that, but it is just really good. I mean, I'm not even a big horror fan or anything, and it's terrifying. And it is just really fun to get through.
I mean, I'm not a horror fan, and when I saw the trailers of that, I was like, that looks really good. Like, for a horror game.
I mean, did you know it was made, like, Alien, the movies, and, well, the game series based on the movies, have not had a very good history. Like, basically all the games have been pretty shitty. Colonial Marines. Which I was really looking forward to until I saw like the first reviews. I was really looking forward to that game. But yeah.
And there was one good game that came out for PS1 that was a good Aliens game.
Yeah, that's another one I played actually years ago. But all in all, they've not had very strong titles. It's been mainly first-person shooters based on what's meant to be a horror franchise. And it actually took a game developer that made strategy games to come along and make this first-person horror game. You know, nobody really expected them to pull out the bag, but they really did. And they made an actual fucking fantastic game. One of the best games of the year, certainly. Anyway, other games
that... Oh my fucking god. Wait a second. I just thought of something. I finally thought of a game that's only been released this year that I've played.
Ooh. Do go on.
It's the most indie fucking title ever, though. Unturned. That's a game that,
yeah.
If it actually got more development, that could probably be one of the best games on Steam.
Essentially, Minecraft crossed with DayZ is one review I think I read of it. But that is pretty good. I played it with you one night. You and Ben. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty entertaining. Punching zombies in the face with like 90s punch effects.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few videos of it. It looks pretty silly, but like, you know, fun as well.
You just dumped on this island.
Yeah, it is.
Little scatterings of towns with like weapons and water and like mouldy food lying around, and it's like Minecraft. You have to keep your food up as well as your water and your virusness down and all the rest of that. You know, it's good. Other games. Oh, you know what? I would actually put this up as my game of the year as well, even though I've not actually played it. But I have such faith in it and the series that I just know it was good. Dragon Age Inquisition, that was released in November this year.
I heard that got great reviews.
Well, I've been a fan of the Dragon Age series, and I'm a BioWare fan as well, and all the rest of it. And I know it's good. I don't even have to play it, and I know it's fucking fantastic. And I look forward to playing it early 2015. Anyway,
is it on? I don't know. Maybe it's because it was just shown at the Xbox E3. Is it on PS4?
Yes, it's PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It's also Xbox 360 and PS3. It is one of those games that was started development 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Shortly after
I think it's
Mass
just one of
Effect
those
3
things
finished,
that
so 2012.
I don't want to slag off any particular console brand, but it's just sort of a thing that Microsoft does. It likes to give the impression that games it shows off at E3 that, aren't exclusive are exclusive.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
They like to sort of go available on Xbox One and PS4. Like, honestly, I had no idea that Titanfall was even available for PC and 360 until, like, a friend of mine said he was playing it, and I was like, I didn't know you had an Xbox One. I was like, oh, no, I'm playing it on PC.
Yeah, I actually, it's funny you mentioned that, actually. I had no idea until today that Titanfall was released for PC, because I was doing a bit of online shopping. I was like, are you taking the piss?
I think what they mean by exclusive...
And then I looked at it and like, what?
What they mean by exclusive, when they, either the Sony or Microsoft, talk about exclusiveness, is basically, does the other one, Sony or Microsoft, have it as well? No, well, it's exclusive. But can you get it on PC as well? Yeah, but they don't count. It's basically as long as our main competitor doesn't have it, it's exclusive.
Actually, yeah. Like, because that's kind of a thing, when Nintendo says it's exclusive, it's fucking exclusive.
Yeah.
Because it seems these days the only games you can get on Nintendo systems are Nintendo games.
So, looking towards 2015, what are we hyped for, if anything? What are we looking for?
Oh, there's so much. There's a lot of little games coming out.
I'm not really too sure. I mean, the only thing that I'm looking forward to is Xenoverse, because that looks pretty... It looks like it's going to finally be a DBZ game that isn't fucking mediocre.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Probably a PS4 one for me. Although, if you get it on PC, I'd like the two of us play that. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, I think that'd be quite fun. Yeah, pretty good. What, Batman Arkham Knight? If you have any of the Batman Arkham game fans. I know I liked City. I really liked that. Arkham Asylum was pretty good as well. Never played Origins, but Arkham Knight looks pretty impressive.
I'm playing Origins because I heard it's the first, like, it's chronologically the first one, so... Yeah, so I'm going to go for that one.
But yeah,
because there's only 2 available on Wii U, and I'll have to get the other one on PS3, and then the new one I'll probably get on PC.
So what other games are you looking forward to?
As I was speaking throughout the whole thing, but obviously I was dead, so... It was an alright time to cut off, because I suppose, because then I didn't half say something. The new Zelda, which we don't have anything other than a few bits of gameplay, which I'm assuming you're seeing now in the video. Look how beautiful it looks. It's basically going to come out, I'm predicting, at some point in December next year. If it's any time before December, I will be shocked, because that's definitely going to be a holiday game, because it's such a big franchise. They're gonna wait and release it on December.
Or they might do it summer holidays.
That's a possibility as well, but we know that Star Fox, the new Star Fox game, is going to be out before Zelda. But we haven't actually seen much of Star Fox, so we don't. So it's just a little. We're not quite sure when all that's being released. Splatoon is another one. It's a first-party shooter game where you sort of turn into squids, and it's all very bright and colourful and absolute kawaii. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I've seen some gameplay of that, and even though it's not really my thing, it still looks pretty damn interesting.
Like, I just love that they've kind of. I just love the such a stereotypical word, but innovativity of that game, innovativity play. of that game. It just does look
It's the
really
only
fun.
thing Christmas related that was mentioned.
Oh yeah, because Christmas was like 5 days, 6 days ago. How was Christmas for you guys? All those.
Yeah, not because this is being recorded in advance or anything. Yeah, it was. I imagine it was good, and nobody died or anything. Which it would be horrible if that happens. Huh.
Anyway,
Time warp.
Very early on in 2015, on the 2nd of January, we're going to get Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is like an adorable little puzzle game, which is already... Captain Toad. Captain.
I don't know who this character is, but that's my voice for him now.
that's Captain Toad's voice now. But yeah, so it's already released in America.
Sebastian.
I don't know if it's... I think it's been released in Japan and America, but not Europe yet, for some reason. So we're going to get that. GTA 5, obviously, re-releasing again for the 3rd time. I'll get that on PC, realise how much
we need to talk about
my PC
re-releases. 2015, or 2014 anyway.
Yeah, we'll get onto that
fucking
now.
Jesus, it was just the year of re-releases, wasn't it? I mean, what to start off with?
That seems to happen with next-gen consoles, though I will agree it was a lot more this year than I've seen before.
But it was games that had only just been released the year prior. Pretty much every time. What was it? There was Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition. Very good game, by the way. Not the Definitive Edition, how much I played that, but the original was very good. The Last of Us, one of those popular PS3 games ever that was released in 2013. Let's do it again in 2014. And still manages to be extremely popular, but whatever. I still suck at that. I can't get past the stealth sections.
When I was very skeptical about getting PS4, because I'm gonna get all 3 consoles eventually, so I can enjoy the full, rich flavour of having no money.
You'll say that now.
Money.
But like when I was really skeptical of getting a PS4, I would just say things like, what's a good exclusive game for the PS4? And people would say, oh, The Last of Us Remastered. I said, no, exclusive for the PS4. That's on PS3. It's like, oh no, but it's the definitive version on it. It's the same game, but looks admittedly a lot better, but it's still the same game, And I love Wind Waker HD, but I'm sorry, it's the same game as on the GameCube. The only difference is obviously graphics, and I suppose a slight more convenience of the gamepad, so you don't have to pause and change items.
If there's some nostalgic game from my childhood that gets completely updated graphics and engine and all of that, like Resident Evil, which I hear is getting redone for 2015.
That's the difference, because when it is a really old game, it's like fair enough.
Not just
it's
you're
a game
going
from
back
2001.
You're not just going back and tweaking the graphics, pushing them up another notch or two. That's all they've done for all these re-releases. Nothing else changes.
It's like
same sounds, same
can't
gameplay,
call
same
something
levels.
that replaces models in a game a different game. It's not a different game. It's not exclusive. It's just the same game, slightly took up a little bit, put on a different console.
But you know what? It's good for people who didn't play the first one. Well, I mean the original non-re-release. It's good for that. They get to play.
I got Bayonetta 2. And with it, you also got Bayonetta 1 on Wii U. And that was great, because I never got to play Bayonetta 1, because I heard the PS3, fucking version was absolute shite, and I didn't have a 360. So, it was great that I could actually play the Bayonetta 1.
It's not really a remake, per se, because it's, in itself, it wasn't really a... You know what I mean once I say it. Star Wars Battlefront, the reboot that is coming out. It might be coming out in 2015. I'm not actually sure if they have a release date yet, but are we thinking, is it 2015? Possibly late 2015?
I heard that it was going to be 2015, and then I was like... And then I was quite confused with that, because they had shown no gameplay, and then I was like, oh no, that's usual for EA. Show no gameplay, just show pre fucking finished graphics, which is probably what it's going to look like anyway. It's going to release with developer textures, and for everything apart from the last gen systems and Wii U, obviously.
Yeah,
since
that
seems to be the
certainly looking forward to that. As a huge adorer of Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2, I only hope that since it's been taken over by DICE, the makers of Battlefield 4 and all that, which, yes, are good games, and I like them, and it's intense, challenging multiplayer, but it's not fun in the same way that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is. Which is just like a blast to go in and fuck around in. I don't go in to fuck around
Even
in
today, it's
in
like been how many years since that game was released?
I don't go in to fuck around with Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. I go in to usually play with friends in squad combat and try and do as good as I can. That's not how I ever did it in Battlefront games. Do you know what I mean? I just hope they don't make it... They kind of cross some boundary to make it not as fun. Visually amazing,
you can
undoubtedly,
have serious Battlefront games, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's not the whole point of it. Whereas, you know, Battlefield is, it's very much, it's like if Call of Duty actually took itself serious, like, you know, the respectable level of seriously, and didn't fucking release every year.
Yeah. But nonetheless, looking forward to that. It'll be great. Motherfucking Star Wars. Of course, same year as the release of The Force Awakens, isn't it? So, undoubtedly,
yeah. So we'll probably get some. I mean,
so that's about us done. It's been a. I don't want to say it's been a good 2014 or anything. I'd just be lying. It's been a year. It has been a full year, in fact. And now we're going to have another year.
365 days.
Yep. And we're about to go through another amount of days.
I'd say this year's been a mixed bag. We've had some great stuff. We've had some not so great stuff. We've had buggy, unfinished games. We've had some absolutely amazing, brilliant 10 out of 10 games. But that seems to be the way gaming is going. Last year, I seem to remember.
I think that's been the way it's kind of always been, to be fair. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on, Lily, also known as Transgamer. Sure, I'll be seeing you in the future.
Maybe for that Battlefront 2 collab we've yet to do.
Yeah, sometime.
And before we go, just once more.
Thank you very much for watching.
Before we go, just once more, a goodbye to the 7th generation.
You served us well, once again.
You have died.
You have died.
You've killed me.
Good. Other than that, though, thank you very much for watching. This is Red Skull Gaming. Fuck off. Bye. Happy New Year.
Yeah.